All right, today, guys, I have brought home something else. I've been looking for a mower to mow my mother-in-law's yard, and been looking for a little while. Been looking for a fixer-upper because I didn't want to spend a whole lot of money on it. And you can see I've kind of put my golf cart on the back burner for right now because I got to get this done for spring. I've got to come in here and do some work on it. The throttle cable over here, as you can see, it's broke, and the choke cable it's stuck and won't work, and this is broke. I've got all this stuff, and I've got this coming. I'm gonna go ahead and service it, change oil, put plugs in it, air filter, and clean it all up, and service it and get it ready to go for this spring. I'll show you a little bit of what I'm up to this morning. I'm gonna try to change out these cables in this side box here. Looks like they run around. One of them runs around, goes around the back, comes in this way. I'll show you where they kind of go. They go right down there. They hook up right down there. Anyway, then this other one, it comes around and comes in that way. And so that's my goal this morning, to get these put in. So I'll bring you along with me while I do this. And I'm going to have to set my camera up on a stand, so you may not be able to see the best at times. I apologize for that, but I can't hold it and work at the same time. Anyway, all right, let me see if I can get started. I'm gathering up a few tools while I have to cut off there. And this is one of the handiest little tools I've ever bought. It's just in your hand good, and it works wonderful. It's a 7/16. Alright, yeah, you can see this little cable here it's done all it's going to do. It's just finished. Alright, let's see to get that one. I don't know about y'all, but I save these old coffee cans, and I use them for stuff like this all the time if they're handy. Alright, let's cut that one out of there. This choke looks like I have got to take it loose from the other end before I can ever get it out of here. Looks like that might be a 5/8 or 9/16. It's a 9/16. Nut on the top. Let's just see what we can do about it. So this choke cable it'll have to come loose at the other end and come out through the top to get that one out of there. Let's see. Let's see if I can get you out of where y'all can kind of see what I'm going to do here. I'm going to have to take this off so I can get my hand in there to that. Looks like that's just a 1/2 inch or 13 millimeters. I bought these things here. I bought some at work for all the guys, and I bought one for here at home. And these things are a little expensive, but man, you're talking about awesome. We use these things at work, and I bought one for home because I liked it so much. As you can see, this is what I'm trying to get in there to, is where those cables come in. I don't know if you can see that or not. My camera focus, but anyway, that's what I'm working on. There's a hole down in here I'm trying to get to. Holds that cable in place, or it should pull out of here now. As you can see, it's done got all melted down here at the bottom. No wonder it didn't work. It's melted pretty bad. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get them nuts off of there without cutting this thing. So you can do that too. What I'm going to do is just pick this thing off. We're going to get this thing out of here. And as you can see, that thing was all messed up. It will not pull or push, so it will when I get done, I hope. Alright, so here's my new one. I got it picked up yesterday. And just like the other one, you got to get that nut off of it first before you can put it in the piece here. And it goes in right there where it says choke. And we can slide a nut and stuff back on there. Yeah, there we go. That's got that one. So let me route it back down here where it has to go. Run it through its carbs here. Let's see. Just go down through there. And as you can see, it's a new cable also. I think this one's long enough. He said it wasn't the right part number, but it should work. So let's see here. I think this one's going to work just fine. All right, go ahead and bolt that in. At work, I got all these tools in an electric in the Milwaukee. They do a really good job. All that stuff is so expensive, man, can't afford to buy it and have it in both places. So I use this stuff here and the air here and the electric at work. I have some of it here at the house, but not much. Got this switch, like I said, it's coming. I ordered it yesterday. I'll show y'all where it runs. Kind of where you can see what I got to do with it. This one here runs down and through this hole, and then it runs down to right there. So that's where I've got to get it to get it hooked up. That looks like it's going to be fun. Well, this thing is giving me a fit with these darn cables, and got blood already, which never fails with me. Every time I do something, I start bleeding. So this cable here didn't come with an end bent on it, so you just have to make you a little bend at the end, kind of like so, so it has something to hook in there. You can see kind of how I did that. I did just a little bit smaller pair of pliers, but this will work. So you see what I did? I made a little notch here, so when it'll ride on that lever right there, straighten it up just a little bit. So yeah, that should work. Kind of hard to see what I'm up to, but I'm working on that cable right there. That one, it's coming up. I had to put it in that little connector there, and then it went up and hooked into, there's a rod up in there that it hooked to. So yeah, there you go, you can see it. So anyway, let's see if we can get you a better view of it. Well, there it is. I can show y'all that way. That right there is what I'm working on right now, is this one. This is the choke, and I'm tightening up that connector right there where my finger's at. I've done the throttle. This is the throttle one here, and it went and hooked up down here. This is where it went and hooked, is right there. So that's what I'm doing down in here. So I got that in. Now my throttle works. And then here's my choke. You pull that out and then push it down to, so all that's working now. And it's working like it's supposed to. So what I'll do next, like I said, quick as this switch gets in, I'm going to replace that. I've got to put a sending switch in this thing that's leaking oil, and it's right, let me get my light, I'll show you where it's at. See that little switch in there with that wire on it? I've got a new one to put on it, so I'm going to do that, change oil on it, put some spark plugs in it, air filter, just get it ready to go for the spring. Alright, so what I'm going to do now, you can see I got my Allen wrench. I got it set up. This is the oil drain plug on this thing. Let me get it where you can see. It's kind of hard to see down in this hole. Right down there. That's the oil drain plug on this thing. I'm going to drain the oil on it. Let it sit here because it's kind of cold today, so I'm going to pop this drain plug out and let the oil just sit here and drain while I'm doing other things. And the oil is pretty thick. So anyway, there's the oil plug right there. And I've got a big pair of channel locks. That's a long thread on that filter. It usually ain't that long. Alright, I'm going to change these spark plugs. I done popped the plug wires off. I was looking for my spark plug socket, but you got tools in two different places. I got tools here and tools at work. And if I need it at work, it's at home. And if I need it at home, it's at work. So that's just the way it rolls sometimes. Yeah, I don't think them old plugs been changed in a while. They've been in there a while. Where that one's at. That one's kind of in a different spot. You can see it's right down there where my socket wrench is. Where my extension goes. And it goes into the head right back there is where that plug goes. That's what I'm working on right now. Sometimes people that design these things, they don't ever work on them. They just throw them together and send them down the line, and they don't care who has to work on anything. It's a little pain to get through too. I got it though. So anyway, what I was doing while I was going here, I was looking for my plug gapper, and that's this little tool right here. And I looked up, these things are supposed to be on like 32 to 35, and that's where that one's at. And I always check these things when you're putting them in, because I have gotten them out of the box and somebody's dropped them, and you can kind of see there where it goes. Somebody's dropped the box and mashed it together, and you put it in there, and some gun won't run or miss on that cylinder because it's mashed together and won't run. I also like to put whatever you need at home is at work. Whatever you need at work is at home. So I like to put anti-seize on these threads, but I don't have it here, so it's not going to hurt anything, but I do like doing that. And I just take it, snug them up real good. You don't crank down tight, just enough to snug them and mash that seal washer right there. Now, what I'm dreading is the one back here. It's a pain to get to just to get it out. Alright, so I found me a piece of hose. This works wonders sometimes. You just take that piece of hose, shove it on there, and then it makes it, we can get it back in that hole and start that son of a gun without cross threading it, hopefully. Oh yeah, started right in there then. Sometimes it just takes little tricks to do the job. Alright, got it started in there now. All I do is just tighten her down. This is something I like to do. Is I like to put a little dielectric grease in the spark plug boot. I'll show you on that other one over here in just a minute. So what I like to do is to take that stuff and squirt a little dielectric grease in these boots. Put that oil plug back in. Snug it back up. I usually just take and put a little oil on that O-ring there. All I ever do is just get them on there and hand tighten them. And we're done. Now I just need to put the oil back in it. Also need to put this guard back on that I took off earlier. I hadn't done that yet either. And I used to just run straight 30 weight in these lawn mowers. It says you can run 10, 30, or 30 weight, and I like to run the 30 weight. It just seems to stay with them a little better. I'm going to think this thing at least holds a quart. I'm going to put a quart in and we're going to check it. Let's check it and see where we're at. We still like, it's full marks there, so we're here. I'm going to put another half a quart in it, and let's see what that does. Alright, she is showing full there. So that's almost a quart and a half, not what I figured. I'm going to change this air filter on this thing too. I'd forgotten I got one of those. And I meant to already do that too and forgot. Just unsnap those. It's a little dirty. I didn't get the inner one, but the inner one is actually, it's pretty clean. So it's got two elements in it, so I'm just going to reuse that one. And we're going to replace this other one. It's full of dirt and grass and stuff. And here's the new one. Take this off and look and see what we got behind there, because I don't know. See if it's something I need to blow out, or no, it's just where it gets its air from. Just want to make sure it didn't have anything in there. So I guess I need to probably fire it up now and see, since I've done all this, if it runs. It may not even run now. Let's see what happens. She don't run, so that's about all I'm going to do to it now, except for clean up and sharpen the blades and all that good stuff. Thank you guys for hanging out with me today, and I'll get this thing finished up. Alright guys, I got a new seat in a little while ago. This is pretty rough, and we got like 3 acres we're going to mow, and we don't want to be that uncomfortable. So anyway, I got a new one that came in today, so we're fixing to put the thing on. Just going to flip this thing up and take the bolts off the bottom, and go from there. Alright guys, it took me a minute to find what I was looking for, as always with me. Alright, so what I gotta do is I gotta take these brackets off the bottom here and put on the new seat. It hasn't moved in a while, you can kind of tell. It's full of grass and everything. It's penetrating more than put down this kind of stuff. It will not want to come off if you don't sometimes put penetrating on. I'm soaked there a minute. We'll just leave it all up so it'll work maybe. Alright. It already helped. Let me get my 10mm. But I'm gonna lay these over here because I'm gonna be this one here might do it. These things are supposed to, this is a cheaper set, but it will grab onto that bolt when one is rounded, and it'll grip it and make it come off when it turns. So I'm gonna try, see if I can get it to come off with that. It worked. My socket was slipping on it a while ago. Sometimes it's nice just having tools that makes it work. But that got it out. So now, just got to measure and see where that was at on that seat, so I can put it on the new seat. And this is the new seat. I got it in today. Pretty nice looking seat. Alright. So it looks like it was in these holes here. So I think it's some outside holes right there. That should fit. Correct. I can't believe that. That's luck. So I may have to do something different because that, maybe that's the reason. I may have to space this up a little bit because it's going to put this against that and it won't adjust if I get done with it here. See if I've got some washers here we can do that with. Because this is not the seat actually. It says it fits a Hustler, but it's kind of a fit-all seat. It fits Gravely and it fits this one. It fits several other motors. So see if I can get some washers or something under there to support that with. Alright guys, well I was going to shim that out, but I got to looking and this seat's cut out. If I put this thing over here, it fits like it's supposed to and works. I don't know, maybe somebody has put a seat on in the past and moved them to the other side or what, but I'm like, So I'm going to do it this way and it should work just fine. Fine. It'll be cleaned out a little bit more. Full of grass and dirt in there. But anyway, it works. So that's awesome. Alright, so that's got that well, I should be able to mount that seat right on there now. Alright, well the seat I ordered, this will not fit on this one, so I don't know why they said it fits that, but it won't, because this one, I'll show you the camera here, it bolted on here like so. So I'm going to go in here and see if I can order a, looks like one that goes in there and twist. I bet you I can find one. So I'll go in there and find me one and get it coming so I can put that seat back on. Let me flip it up here now and put my nuts on it. Which holds it on there. So now, yeah, I can get to this, so I can get that piece coming and then we'll put that on. I'm not going to bypass. A lot of people bypass those, but it's one of those things that you get thrown off this thing. You don't want it to run over you. Alright, so that gets it all put back on except for the kill switch here, which, like I said, that kill switch there, if you leave that seat, it kills the mower and stops it from running. So quick as I get that in here, I'll show you putting that on. But they just twist in, I think, the one that I will order. So once I get that, this thing, we're getting close now to having it ready to go. Heck yeah. So it fits perfect.